खातिन आप हैं राहुल मार्किन के साथ मेरे साथ है शिखर वाशने और today we cannot say that welcome to yet another episode of Crickbazi because today's episode is really special. Today we have someone with us जिनकी वजह से हम कह सकते हैं कि हमने जो 2011 का जो वर्ल्ड कप वो जो ट्रॉफी लिफ्ट की थी उनके पीछे की जो वजह थी आज वो हमारे स्क्रीन के साथ आपको नजर आ रही है. He was the guy who was actually, the reason behind the strength, the fitness, the hardcore training the team went through, and that's why we won the 2011 World Cup. Amazing. So we have Mr. Ramji Srinivasan, who was the first ever Indian strength and conditioning coach of the 2011 World Cup winning Indian cricket team. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a very elaborate one now.
It's actually so. Words are not coming out of my mouth. I don't know what to say, but I'm really happy that I could actually see you in person. वो है तो virtually वैसे, but I'm so happy, so glad that we could actually meet the actual reason behind 2011 World Cup victory. Before 2011,
also 2013 Champions Trophy victory.
Yes,
he was also a part of that. So Ramji, let me just deep down to the question straight away.
Yep.
For how many days the World Cup winning party went on? For how many days?
Exactly one evening.
Exactly one evening. That's it.
Absolutely. Not even one evening. That day, 2011, I think 2nd of April, I think that night and next day morning, we were supposed to meet the president. Then we are dispersing off because of IPL camp was starting. I was with Mumbai Indians. I had to go back, change the bag and get back again now.
Wow.
So none of us had time to celebrate. And it is etched in our heart. Every day, every April 2nd is a celebration for us.
Actually, this is one celebration the Indians, all our Indians cannot forget. But we, of course, have forgotten all the hard work, all the coaching, the conditioning that has gone through before we won the World Cup. So I would want to know straight from you only, whose idea was this to get a strength and conditioning coach for the Indian cricket team? But because before that, we did not have one.
No, I think BCCI, it was BCCI's call, and we had two trainers before me, but I was the first Indian strength and conditioning coach getting into the side. I was nervous though, but nevertheless, things went out very well. Because there was Adrian Lero from South Africa and Gregory King, both of them from South Africa. And I was the first Indian SNC to get into the side.
Wow.
So from 2009 to 13, nearly 5 years I was there.
So sir, I want to ask one question. You always hear this that the physio came onto the ground. But what's the difference between a physio and a strength and fitness coach?
It's $1 million question. The thing is, physio, there is a cliched word. Physio mostly repairs, trainers prepare, SNC prepare. And it should not be the other way. So it can be very dicey. So physio's job is mainly injury prevention and cure, taking care of the injuries. Whereas strength and conditioning professionals take care of fitness aspect of it and all the components of fitness specific to specific sport and specific skill. So it is a very elaborate, it's a wide gamut of things. What is
does it also
required for SNC?
Does it also
weights is one aspect of it. Strength is one aspect of fitness, but there are many smaller nuances in fitness component which need to be addressed and adhered according to the skill, according to the individual, and according to the sport. It's like a pyramid.
Ramji, does it also include the diet part of it? Because it's very hard if you're watching a senior player eating something which you don't want him to eat, but then you have to ask him to please stop eating this because. And how do you do it then?
Oh yeah. Because this started way back in 2010. Controlling the diet, what has been delivered to the dressing room on the cricket matches. In 2010 onwards, we started to plan because planning was, the goal was 2011 World Cup to win and to enjoy what we are doing. Winning and losing is part of it. After we are winning, we can say we did this, we did that. We can put a beautiful story around it. No, not at all. Because planning was done very well, laid out plan regarding the diet. What need to have: no sodas, no sugary items, no cheese, fatty items, etc., etc. So all the players adhered to it, and even the senior players, those who are used, the dressing room is like a 5-star deluxe hotel, whatever you want, from sushi to Mediterranean food, anything you can get. But they were all very mindful of the fact that the goal, everybody had a common goal. This was happening in India. I don't know when it was going to happen at that point of time. So only goal was to be fit, eat sensibly, and work hard and enjoy every moment of it. And they relished every moment of it. That's a product. Result is a product of that.
Ramji, let me just tell you, this guy sitting beside me is also very crazy about fitness. He doesn't eat chole bhature, he doesn't eat biryani, and I am fed up of my co-host. Eat something, man. You are not going to play for India. But so let me ask this: who was that one player who, no matter what, will eat anything? Who was that one player in the dressing room?
No, I don't want to name or name. You're putting it surreptitiously. All the players enjoy their food. You take an Indian team or any team for that. I train the racers, I train table tennis players. We all enjoy the food, but eating sensibly, slightly alternating things instead of this, have that, so that it doesn't. What is the right word? I'm not able to get the right word for it. Deceive the taste buds, to put it mildly, so that they don't miss that much. But at the same time, it's very healthy, highly nutritious, highly energetic. So we calibrated everything from breakfast, what is available in the hotel, to the dressing room, to the practice matches, to the main matches, to the dinner, everything. But every player adhered to that, and rest is history. It's easy to say, looking back 10 years down the line, it's easy to spin a story, spin a web on that. But I'm not a guy who does all those things. We call a spade a spade. So, at the end of the day, what happens is a nicely said story is always very attractive. But a lot of things are missed out on that, to tell you, it is like anybody for that matter, any professional athlete, they would like to see themselves in a winning spot. And especially in India, this is a mega event. So I think everybody contributed to that, all the support staff. It is, one man doesn't win a battle, because it's a teamwork end of the day. So cricket is a team game. So I would like to thank everybody. I was blessed and be happy to be part of this historic event and part of the history.
You talked about 10 years down the line. I just want to ask you that 2011 World Cup, and there's this World Cup coming ahead of us, 2011-2021 World Cup. So what's that one difference you see in both the teams, in the players, in the captains, and the support staff? You know everyone very nicely, so...
Yes, that's a good question. Actually, it is one different generation of players.
Yeah.
I was very lucky to be part of the legendary players, the list, and time has evolved. Everything changes permanent. So things have become better. Fitness has become part and parcel of every member's lifestyle, and fitness has become, and nutrition. All those things become a part and parcel of the team now, because no team works in isolation. So that is one thing which has changed a lot in last 10 years. Youngsters have embarked on fitness well. At the same time, they need to know what is required for a competitive sport. So because of different formats, you have your T20, you have your one dayers, you have your test match, you have to train differently according to the format and plan, prepare everything accordingly. So one size doesn't fit all, one format doesn't fit all, and so it has to be like a bespoke protocols according to the skill, because cricket is a game of skill also, not only fitness, it is also a game of skill. I would say it's around 80% game of skill, that template, and 20% aspect of physical fitness. So in that physical fitness, it's like a pyramid. You have to match all the jigsaw puzzles according to the skill, according to the individual, according to the format. So it's a very elaborate protocols, which I think slowly we are getting there. But still miles to go before we sleep. We need to be very precise and specific to avoid injuries, on also the repetitive injuries, which is happening quite often nowadays.
Talking about injuries, we also, as you said, there are certain parameters which are also set while we select a team, like we have a yo-yo test, some other tests also. So do you think that yo-yo test is a good parameter for a player to get into the team? Because yes, there are other players like Rohit Sharma and so many others who may or may not qualify a yo-yo test right now, but they have their specific place in the team. So where do you place the yo-yo test as per today's?
I answered it in 2018. So it cannot be selection based. That's my opinion on it. Any test cannot be on a selection base, because a player may or may not be able to adhere to certain components of fitness, because you cannot have one test to pass or fail a player. Impossible. Like for example, you are in IIT, you are a mechanical engineer, so you do one test to pass or fail it to the next level, or to qualify to the next level, or any other, for example, 12th standard, you pass in physics and fail in mathematics, you are promoted. No, it's a comprehensive requirement for a player. You are an athlete. You have to consider themselves, they have to consider themselves as an athlete. So all parameters need to be tested according to the skill, which is very, very, very important. So the need for fast bowlers are different from the need of a batsman or a wicketkeeper or a spinner or an all-rounder. It's a bowling all-rounder, a batting all-rounder. So tests need to be designed accordingly first. Second thing, you cannot have this test as a qualifying mark for a player to be in the team. Nowhere in the world it's done. I think I was one of the first to come out against this. Then rest was history. Yo-yo's test, which you have done way back in 2006-07 in MRFA's foundation. So that is used for mainly soccer, stop and go sport, and also test aerobic fitness. Because just by testing your aerobic fitness, you cannot say that he's going to score a century, or he's going to get a hand-eye coordination, or his awareness, reflex is going to improve. No, that is one aspect of fitness. So you need to test all aspects of fitness for give him a specific parameter. You need to fit in within these parameters as a batter, the base component. That is required for any sport. So that can be adhered to, but it is up. I mean, I'm not a great fan of selecting somebody because he or she failed in yo-yo test. Nowhere. I'm against that. I'm hardcore against that.
So we got your point. So, you have worked with Sachin, you have worked with Dhoni, you have worked closely with Kohli.
So you have quite a lot of people. You had Sachin Tendulkar, you had Dhoni, you have Nehru, you have Gautam. At that point of time, for example, Ashish Nehra was one of the, I think as late as 2018 or 19, he scored the highest in yo-yo.
Oh.
Yeah.
In 2019, Ashish Nehra scored highest in yo-yo.
Yes, he was 36 or something, 36 or 37. So, never underestimate.
No one can underestimate Nehra ji. No one can underestimate.
There are a lot of people like that. Gautam Gambhir, unsung heroes, phenomenally quick. You have, even now you have Umesh Yadav, you have Ajinkya Rahane, you have Shikhar Dhawan. These are all natural athletes. Umesh Yadav is a natural athlete. Yeah. Vridhiman Saha, supremely fit boys. So there are guys, those who are phenomenal in some aspect, like Dhoni is phenomenal in his explosive power, speed. and still he can give run for money to all the youngsters.
True.
So running between the wickets.
Ramji, under your leadership, you've groomed so many players, starting from 2010 till you went on with the team. One player, if you have to choose, who was your best student or who adhered to all what you said, who was the most strict with all the diet and exercise plans that you gave?
I think I cannot say just one. I would say quite a few. I don't want naming them. Of course,
Some of them.
See, some of them are SRT, Sachin Tendulkar. He is an amazing. 24 years playing cricket is not a joke, And SRT, you had Gautam Gambhir. Well, those who are doing phenomenally well. They were always pushing me to do things. MSD, Ravindra Jadeja, Virat Kohli. You had Yuvraj Singh. Viru, all of them. I'm telling you, trust me on this. I have, with honesty and integrity, I'm talking. All of them adhere to the fitness component. Nobody even welched on it.
Wow.
Trust me on this. Trust me. I am telling you with a clear conscience. And currently, it's an evolution. What is pertinent? What was $5 years, 10 years back? It was $40. Now it's $80. Yeah. So you cannot compare. It's very difficult to compare the eras. It is very unfair on the legends and people, those who played the game. So Virat, even Jaddu, Ravindra Jadeja, Raina, Suresh Raina, all of them, they were all youngsters coming into the team, and these were the legends. Rahul Dravid, even for example, Lakshman, in spite of having so many injuries, he never used to miss a session. None of them missed a session. I still have all the data, still have all the data of the testing or the everyday, whatever they did. I still have from 2009 to 13. Till I was there.
But there is a very precedented comparison which the commentators do in the commentary box. Whenever Dhoni and Kohli are on the field, they always say कि Dhoni runs fast or Kohli runs fast. I feel Jaddu runs on the same pace, or Raina for that matter. So who is the fittest and the fastest on the pitch in terms of running?
Currently, I would put quite a lot of guys now. You have Dhoni running between the wickets, highly explosive. Jaddu, you have Virat Kohli, you have Suresh Raina, you have Hardik Pandya. These guys have a lot of youngsters, other youngsters. I think Ajinkya Rahane. These are the guys, those who are in good shape and they can really sprint. Running between the wickets and chasing the ball is one aspect of it. And most of the guys nowadays dive and slide, and especially T20 has brought in more athleticism into the game. Diving, and they are not scared to dive. Even the ground conditions are much better than what it was 10 years back. So they are not scared to dive. So you can see some remarkable acrobatic catches coming in from a lot of youngsters, those who are doing very well now. So it is a good evolution, and youngsters have taken fitness seriously, and they need to do the fitness aspect of it with prudence, which is very important, not to follow like a sheep. Because one person does one exercise, everybody wants to follow that. That is a mindset of India.
Ramji, I am really impressed by the kind of coaching that you have provided to the Indian team and other athletics as well. And now you have your own startup as Sports Dynamics. Would you like to tell us a bit about Sports Dynamics as well?
And the shift from a coach to an entrepreneur, how did you do that? You are an entrepreneur.
Yes, an entrepreneur is no way. It's like me being declared a Nobel Prize winner. No way. No. Because I enjoy what I'm doing. So after 2013, I wanted to do something for sport, just for sport, not to open a center for general fitness. it's demeaning or anything. My passion is sport, and we started the Sports Dynamics only for sports. We take only 50 people per annum. So we do multi-sport, quite a lot of motorsport, a lot of Formula racing guys, and table tennis, Sharat Kamal, Satyan, and Bhavani Devi, even we trained 3 Olympians for this Tokyo Olympics. And shuttle, quite a lot of shuttle youngsters are coming up. Table tennis, quite a lot of table tennis boys are there. So it is very specific to sport, but it is a humble beginning because I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a professional. I enjoy what I'm doing. So I cannot say I'm building a multi-billion-dollar business on this. So I want the players to benefit to become multi-millionaires, which I'm very, very happy to serve.
All the way, Samji, for your fitness center and the things that are in the plan. There's one thing I want to ask. You have worked with athletes, you have worked with cricketers, tennis players, racers. So what's that one life lesson, 1 or 2 life lessons you have learned from those cricketers? You have taught them many lessons, but what's that 1 or 2 life lessons you have learned from them?
It's a very good question, actually. And every sport you learn a lot. One thing, stay humble. It's very important not to blow your own trumpet.
And you have learned from Dhoni.
Dhoni, Sachin's, Dravids, phenomenal. Narayan Karthikeyan, Sharat Kamal. I have trained since Ramesh Krishnan onwards. So humble in their process. All high achievers. Somdev Varman. Quite a lot of athletes and Olympians, those who are trained, and they are all very humble in their process. And the show goes on. You cannot say I'm the best. I am doing something different. No. You're not reinventing anything. You're not reinventing. I mean, you're not finding a new bone or a new muscle or a new blood group. It's the same thing. How you manipulate the program, how you make things look very simple, and don't have bombastic languages. So we have to make things very simple. To make things very simple, one need to know the basic and foundation very well. You need to have the basics very well. So that is one thing. And second thing, to be humble is one thing. And second thing is stick on to the core competence. Very important, because I find in my profession, people use loads of jargon. It can be Google knowledge, it can be YouTube knowledge, and when a professional athlete is asking you a question, if you don't know, accept you don't know. Don't try to give jargon or don't try to give bombastic reply and get hammered at the end of the time. So you need to be very, very mindful of the fact. If you don't know, accept you don't know, you'll revert back. There is no shame and no harm in accepting that you don't know. You cannot know everything. Even in SNC, you don't know everything. It's a massive ocean. For example, somebody is telling physics. I'm a physics student. So, you do know everything in physics? No. So, similarly, strength and conditioning it is physics and it is a lot of mathematics.
True.
Yeah.
So, you need to be very mindful that what you know is very little, very, very, very little, especially in India. We know very little, and there's not much of research has been done in India, not much of data for Indian athletes. I think slowly it's coming up. A lot of big players have come in now and doing a lot of things. Fantastic it is. But don't know means don't know. But it will give you an opportunity to keep learning.
But there's one thing we know that, now coming back to the cricket and the T20 World Cup which is ahead, and there's one thing we know that Virat Kohli has announced his retirement from captainship after the 2021 World Cup. So what's your take on that? Kohli announcing his retirement before the tournament begins is a good thing or a bad thing?
That is his personal call, buddy. That is personal call. He has
how
been
will it impact the team and the morale of the team?
I don't think from my angle, I'm not an expert cricket player, so that they'll be able to analyze the game better and see what is good and what is bad. From SNC point of view, maybe it is his personal call. It is definitely his personal call.
And we have to respect
it. It will give him more space now for him to concentrate on his game and score more centuries, and play to the next level. I don't know. I have to be very frank and honest about it because it's his personal call, and I cannot take much comment on it.
Before we leave, one final question for you, sir. From strength and conditioning point of view, where do you see Team India in this upcoming World Cup 2021? The chances of India winning the World Cup, if you have to say.
Oh yes, I'll be very excited. We have to. It's been long. It's been nearly. Our last championship was Champions Trophy.
2013, yeah.
2013. And that was my last year too. And I would love to see India win this and win next and win the World Cup, which is going to be happening in India also. We'll be gung-ho about it, and it'll be a new history, new beginning, new shift. It's fantastic, and I'm sure we are capable of winning. We have all the firepowers to do it. We have the capacity and capability to do it.
Super. Thank you very much, Ramji. It was lovely having you besides us, and it was an amazing session talking with you. We actually gained a lot of knowledge, not only about strength and conditioning, but also about life, about being humble, about being grounded, and about learning with each passing day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for joining. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you so much. Good day.